Good day everyone, this is Patrick from EasyFX Code Training System, and it's Wednesday the 20th of November 2019, and it's just after 11 a.m. in Singapore, and this is the daily analysis for Euro, Pound and the Aussie Dollar. Let's start off with the Euro Dollar here, and after a follow through from the end of previous week, Euro has recovered somewhat to retest the previous swing highs, but now has consolidated and settled around the monthly pivot as well as the weekly R1 pivot level. Let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame. So it's just right at the sitting on the resistance zone that it broke through on Monday. New weekly pivot, as I mentioned, was at 110.33, and this will be a support zone along with the 50% fib retracement level, and it seems to be consolidating now. A triangle here, rather small triangle, so eventually it will break out. If it does fall below the support area, looks like there's still quite a bit support for now, along with the 200 period EMA, so around 110.60 to 70 area. That's the support zone. If this previous resistance and turn support will hold, if it does break out higher, then it could target the 111.00 level again, right next to the weekly R2 pivot. Alright, there's only a couple of news coming up on tomorrow is the ECB monetary policy, the meeting accounts or minutes, and on Friday there are some flash services and manufacturing PMIs, so those could impact slightly. Right, but looks like this is going to be the range for the next day or so, about 30 to 40 pips, and depending which way it breaks out from. And this now is another confirmed key support level. Okay, let's take a look at the sterling cable, sterling against US dollar, and at the start of the week it gapped up and continued to push up higher towards the 130, but failed to hit it. This was just due to over the weekend there was a positive poll numbers from the UK election that Conservative Party has a healthy lead, so it's just some positive news on that election front. And since then it has started to retrace back, switch to the 4-hour time frame. This was the previous intermediate resistance. Now it's coming back as a support, intermediate support zone at the 55 period EMA at just below 129, and the weekly pivot is at 128.69, and there is a rising trend line now that's also aligned with the 55 period EMA. So let's mark this as a key support as well. If it does bounce from here and climb back up, it needs to break above the weekly R1 and back to target the 130.00 level. So this could be a potential move and a potential range, but we'll see over the next couple of days. And there isn't any news out of the UK this week, so it's mainly dependent on the UK elections and how it unfolds over the next couple of weeks. Alright, let's move on to the Aussie dollar. And the Aussie dollar was retracing lower at the start of the week, but then managed to find support with a higher low and bounce back up to hit the monthly pivot again, and right next to the daily 55 EMA, as well as the 38 FIB retracement level. So this is a key resistance level now, resistance zone. Weekly pivot is at 0.6819, so it's just hovering around there, and it's managed to hold up above the lower trend line. Let's switch to the 4-hour time frame. So this was the resistance zone, and it's still a key resistance zone for the time being. This is a key support zone. Prior to that, there's already another critical support zone at a 0.6800 level. So it's attempting to hold up above the lower trend line of this triangle, and if it does break out higher, then that will open up, move back up to retest the 0.6860 to 65 zone. It's a resistance zone, but for now this is a key resistance zone, and it's only because yesterday's RBA minutes highlighted that they are in a monitoring mode, so potentially there may not be a rate cut for next month's meeting in December, so it could be on hold until economic data shows otherwise. So now it's trying to recover and move in the bullish channel. So it could consolidate and bounce back off the lower trend line before trying to break through the resistance zone. So we'll see over the next couple of days, and there's only a minor news on Friday with the flash PMI figures. There is also US news coming up with the FOMC meeting minutes coming out late tonight or early tomorrow morning, along with Philly Fed manufacturing index on Thursday and the flash PMI and services figures on Friday. Right, so there could be some movement out of these consolidation modes over the next couple of days, so we shall see, because next week is a shortened week for the US with Thanksgiving coming up, so there could be some moves prior to that. And I will also not be making a weekly analysis video this Sunday, but watch out for my part 2 of the MT4 and basic chart setups, where I will also include links for you to download the weekly pivots and daily pivots if you don't have it already. Alright, so do check out my other video on spot gold and dollar yen as well. Meanwhile, have a good trading week and cheers.